What's up, new world? It's Joshua again here with a brand new video in which I'm going to be reading some fascinating comments in a really interesting, attractive, and irresistible topic that I found in Reddit a couple of days ago. The following question that we are going to talk about today is important to me because as of the moment that this video is being recorded, I am naturally 29 years old. And I hate growing up just as many millennials from my generation, 1992 of course, probably hate as well, right? You know, back when we were kids, many of us stupidly used to believe that being an adult must be fascinating, must be amazing, must be great, and must be probably the best and the most amazing experience in life because you have absolute liberty, you have total freedom, and you have certain and total technical freedom, and you have zero rules as to what you do want to do by yourself. And by zero rules, it means basically having cereals for breakfast, probably burgers for probably cheeseburgers or a really superficial sandwich for lunch, and probably pizza and tacos for dinner, which is definitely not responsible adulting. So therefore, the question that brings us today into this following video the question that brings us into the video of today that you're about to see is r/as Reddit. What's the sad reality of being an adult that young people should know? One more time. What's the sad reality? Again, give me a second. Goes like this. What is the sad reality of being an adult that young people should know? Oh my god, I couldn't feel more to be honest, I couldn't feel more compelled and I couldn't feel more fascinated and attracted by such a title because, as I said, as an adult myself, there are so many things that I wish I could have been taught at school, such as fixing things around the house, probably cooking, sewing some clothes, and definitely how to do my fucking taxes, right? Hello, Rina. I'm naturally from Mexico, therefore the tax system is totally different from places that speak English as a primary language, but still, I would have loved to be taught the basics of how to do the taxes, how to cook. Thankfully, I know how to do it. Some emotional intelligence, maybe some important skills for life, such as how to tie a tie, how to make a bow tie, and probably how to sew ripped off clothes, and probably maybe how to be a better person, and how to deal with social insecurities, and probably how to buy a house and things like that. All right. So the first reply, not really about taxes. I'm talking about what is the sad reality of being an adult that young people should know. And the first person that gives an answer right here, it's this person called Lotus12. He says that one day your parents will need your help from getting older and they likely will not tell you. One day you show up for a visit to your parents' house and it hits like a ton of bricks the fact that they need help. And I will say that I totally agree with this one because definitely there is nothing more heartbreaking than seeing your parents grow old, alright? There's nothing sadder than beholding how your parents are growing old. How fascinatingly sad it is that these people that once were the almighty figures, the so powerful and strong figures that were there for you when you were a kid, now are becoming frail pieces of antiquities, and they are becoming monumental antiquities that are now totally old and probably a shadow of their former self. Alright? I must say that I totally like this particular argument, so let us continue, alright? The next this person replies to this person replies to the main comment of Red Lotus, and this person Blutista says, visiting my wife's parents versus visiting my parents is a radically different experience, alright? For example, visiting her parents usually means home cooked meals and a family trip somewhere. However, on the other hand, visiting my parents usually means that we are bringing food for them and we are packing all the tools so we can help them fix something that has been left in a state of disrepair. I have to say that thankfully, the visits to my parents and the parents of my girlfriends thankfully are relatively similar, you know? Mm-hmm. One more time. Thankfully, I can say that I'm totally privileged enough so that the visits to my girlfriend's parents, it's a nice it's a nice environment in which there is family love, there is plenty of brotherhood and sisterhood, and there is basically the sentiment of being a family. And since it's a small town, they have a larger circle. However, I am from a city, you know. I am from a city and my family is rather small, and there are few people left. But hey, there is love there. We are far from perfect, but we do have some love. We do have some love over there. And for that, I can say that I'm totally thankful. All right. Let's continue with the next one that says, give me a second. Another, another person says, let's see. Peanut Sandfuck says, holy shit! The same thing happens with me, except that this happens with my grandparents instead of my parents. And it goes like this. Visiting my mom's parents means playing tennis and drinking homemade booze in the patio. However, visiting my dad's parents means helping my grandfather walk, get to the bathroom, bringing them food, and then listening to my grandmother rant about how she can't take care of him anymore and berate him for ruining her life. I mean, it's emotionally draining to listen to her while also keeping him company and reassuring that we want to be there. We want to be there and that he is not a burden. But we are also just giving her a break. I can't imagine what it's like for either of them, but it's hard to see her be so mean to him. She also gets up and goes to the other room to get a break from him, and he's happy to have a break from her. That smells like a relationship in which they got married merely because of soul compromise and probably because they conceived a child by accident, which goes again into saying that I kind of agree with the concept of abortion. If you don't want to ruin two people's life, it sounds horrible, and some people are going to call me a murderer or endorsing and condoning murder, and that I say totally sarcastically, ironically, and between quotation marks, but yeah. Terminate that life so that, because let's call the things by their names, alright? It is a life, so, but still, let's terminate that life in order to save that life a whole existence of pain, lack, absence, and lack of love, alright? It's gonna be a big favor. So, let's continue with this one, and it says, but it puts me and my siblings in the most awkward situation of having to choose one of them to sit with and ignore the other one. I love them dearly, but I just realized now that I also have that counting down the minutes until we can reasonably leave. This is going on the back of my head, and they used to be the grandparents that did more for us and were more fun to visit as kids. Yeah, one more time. And they used to be the grandparents that did more for us and were more fun to visit. But it's happened so gradually that I can't remember the point where it became us taking care of them. That is a rather sad story, but hey, some people just degenerate mentally. Let's continue into another answer that is not really a reply to more. Alright? Let's save that one. And into another answer we go, and it goes like this. Give me a second. Oh, shoot. Another person says that they may deteriorate too. The person who used to comfort you and have answers does not have the answers anymore and can help you or even themselves. Oh my god, this is so saddening, to be honest. This is so sad. Let's continue, alright? The third idiot says, TV series always portray friends hanging out all the time, as though their schedules always sync. As if I needed another reason why I will not watch Friends. That ubiquitous and famous and landmark sitcom. I don't think I will watch it. Maybe I will watch videos of people analyzing Friends, but I don't think I will watch the series. Besides, I don't even have Netflix. So, the third idiot says one more time, TV series always portray friends hanging out all the time, as if their schedules always sync, meaning that they were always synchronized. In reality, you barely get to hang out together or even talk in group chats because everybody is busy with work and the ups and downs of adulthood, which can totally suck. Alright? The third idiot, I couldn't agree with you more, to be honest. I'm serious, I couldn't agree with you more. Let's continue with the other one that says right here. Nails for Breakfast replies to this person by saying, and just when you hit a good rhythm of hanging out with a good friend, one of you will always have some life-changing event happen. They have to move away, they have a kid, they get married, etc. And the whole thing gets disrupted. I am so sad from hearing this. And hey, if my friend gets married, I'm naturally going to be so happy about him or her. And yes, even if I am invited, even if I am invited to the wedding, amazing! Free food. But still, oh yeah. I totally agree with this one. There is another person who has an amazing answer and says, I'm Iron Man, AMA, meaning ask me anything. I don't think you're Iron Man, but okay. Let us have a look at what you say over here, alright? It says right here, I silently start to say my goodbyes to friends as soon as I hear this phrase. We are pregnant. I'm happy for them, but I know that our friendship as we know it is over. It's not to say that we aren't going to stay friends, but I also know there's no going back to those days again. I kept the goodbyes to myself, and in the meantime, there is an inner dialogue because I don't really want to make them feel uncomfortable or hear them fruitlessly try to convince me that we'll still be the same. It's like, no, you won't, dude. It will not be the same. That kid is your life now, and that is okay, you know? Let's just not try to hold on to something that we both know is wrapping up. I have to say that I am from a city in my country. I'm from a city on the Caribbean. It's a port. And I have three amazing childhood friends that naturally I stopped talking to them. It's not that we hate each other or it's not like there is animosity. It's just that we are both busy with our lives, you know. I live here, they live there. It's natural. This is so true on so many levels, and I am so sad, but at the same time, kind of glad. I am so sad, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad that such an idea is being shared. It's not only to know, it's not only to spread knowledge, but to start a conversation. This is the kind of ideas that you need in your life. This next person says, Fusra Doodles says, as an adult, you'll find yourself wanting to be alone. Yet, you'll realize that you don't want to be lonely. I'm so sorry for that. I just had to go out and burp a little bit. So yeah, I totally agree with this one, you know. Being alone is okay, and I love living alone, you know. I have an apartment, I pay my rent, I thankfully have a job, and additionally, I have a family who loves me. I have a sister with whom I may not have the greatest relationship or the most contact. We are in good terms. I have a mother who loves me, and I have a niece and a nephew who I love dearly as if they were my own. However, thankfully I live without the responsibility of raising them. Ha! Alright. This is both sad and fascinating. This is both forlorn and fascinating. I have to be honest with you about that. And don't worry, I'm not crying. And don't worry, I'm not crying. I'm only thinking. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm just thinking. Oh my god. Bills will never fucking end. Those are the direct words. Those are the direct words of this particular person called Frito del Sur Sar. That's a funny one. I have to admit it. That's a funny one. All right? That's a funny one, and it says, bills will never fucking end. For years, every 30 days, I was like, what the fuck? Didn't I pay this bill already? Just for it to happen again 30 days later. Hey, you have to pay for services. Nothing is free in this life. Oh my god, I like this one so much. QNGR says, life and opportunity isn't nearly as long and boundless as it seems as a kid. And I have to say, I like that idea. Because, yeah, which brings me to say that every single kid, every single child that says that they want to become an adult to have this absolute liberty, only for them to play until 4 o'clock in the morning, they need to be slapped. Okay, verbally slap. Verbally slap. And be reminded that they have no responsibilities and that when they are 20 or 30 years old, their physical health and physical capacities are not going to be the same. So this person says again, life and opportunity isn't nearly as long and boundless as it seems as a kid. This sounds so sad on so many levels. This sounds so sad on so many levels. I cannot help thinking about it. Wow. Let's go with the next one, shall we? Oh my god. And there is a person who agrees, saying that this is such a sad realization of life. By the way, this video has been recorded on the 30th of September, and this answer was, according to this, typed around 9 hours ago. 9 hours ago, and they have already given some fascinating answers that I totally consider worth reading and worth sharing with the world. All right, let us continue with more, shall we? Give me a second. All right. There is another person replying to that one who says, oh my god. He's quoting a person, Paul Bowles, The Sheltering Sky. Hello, Miguel, how are you? The following topic of today's talk is, what is the sad reality of being an adult that young people should know? That is the sad topic that we are talking about in this particular show. Let's call it show, all right? And this one says here, death is always on the way, but the fact that you don't know when it will arrive seems to take away from the finiteness of life. It is that terrible precision that we hate so much. But because we don't know, we get to think of life as an inexhaustible well. A well is this particular hole in the ground from which water is extracted. But yet everything happens a certain number of times, and a very small number really. How many more times will you remember a certain afternoon of your childhood? Some afternoon that's so deeply a part of your being that you can't even conceive of your life without it. Perhaps 4 or 5 times more. Perhaps not even. How many more times will you watch the full moon rise? Perhaps 20. And yet, it all seems limitless. According to this person, Sarnolite, it's quoting this particular author called Paul Bowles, The Sheltering Sky. Now I am totally intrigued. I am totally intrigued and I am totally fascinated as to who this author might be. Alright, let's continue with the next one by Hopeful Engineer. Alright, Hopeful Engineer replies by saying, Hopeful engineer replies by saying, "It's funny. You know, when I was a kid, I thought I was destined to work in a factory like everyone around me. Growing up, I found I could do whatever I wanted, if I wanted it. Coming from a place with below average wages and attitudes really does demoralize you without even knowing." Uh, the minimum wage. I know nothing about it, but all I know is that, hey, if you can school me as to why it exists or as to why it is the way it is, come on, educate me, educate me, enlighten me. I'm totally willing to listen. All right. This one has a really funny name. Gowaku. Gowaku, that's a funny name. Gowaku says, "No one else has time to look out for you. They are busy looking out for themselves. So save money, eat healthy, and get enough sleep." Actually, as soon as I think I can divide this topic into multiple ones so that this video has a first part, a second part, and probably a third part, because I don't know how much time I've been recording, but it's late at night, you know. Technically, I'm recording this during the first hours of September the 30th of the year 2021. So that should give you an idea as to how serious I'm going to take this piece of advice. Again, I'm going to repeat it again for you. And it says, "No one else has time to look out for you. They are busy looking out for themselves. So, save money, eat healthy, get enough sleep. No one else is going to make sure you are doing those things." And I have to say, I agree. Yeah, it's nice to have friends who care about you, who give a fuck about you, and give a damn about you. Excuse the foul language, but it is for the objective of emphasizing. So I totally believe it is totally okay to use some bad words, right? Besides, it's my video, so I can decide what words I can use. Alright. But of course, it's not going to be, it's going to be responsible freedom of use of words, right? Don't freak out about it. So yeah, it's only me. I have thankfully my mom, but I only have my mom and myself. That's it. That's all I have. Those are all I have, alright? LarryBatman replies to Gowaku by saying, "When you find someone who genuinely when you find someone who genuinely cares about you and helps to take care of you, make sure you take care of them back and do your best not to let them go." I agree. I care for someone. I welcome her because she was a girl, an ex-girlfriend. An ex-girlfriend. I welcome her into my home. I gave her some shelter. I gave her a place to stay. And even despite of all that, she betrayed me. I suspect she was, but I have partial proof, but that's another story. The thing is that she betrayed me, she stole from me, and still, despite of all that, despite that, I will not, despite of that, despite this, I will not stop being a caring person with my friends. Maybe I will not go so fast. I will not jump so fast at the idea of letting someone sleep under my roof. But I will care for them in another ways, alright? And about that person who stole from me, congratulations. You ruined the life of someone who was so nice that now, thanks to you and the horrible thing that you did to this nice person will cease to exist and turn into a regular, cynic piece of crap of a person. Okay, not piece of crap, but maybe more sinister person. Alright? I don't know if I'm explaining myself so well, but that's the idea that I want to express. Let's continue with the next one that says, I'm going to go directly into another one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sad Panda 247 says the following text. Says the following. as a reply to many people, to one of the many people who replied to Gowaku. And he says, give me a second. But first, I found one. All right. I've been coming to terms with something similar myself recently. In my mid 30s or late 30s, my parents are getting on a bit. I've always been single, unattractive, low self-esteem, etc. And I don't imagine I will ever find someone now. That has always been a sore point for me. The idea of facing the loss of my parents while being alone and lonely. But the one thing that always got me through was knowing that no matter what, I would always have my brother. Uh, I do not know you. I do not know who you are. I do not know your face. And perhaps it might be for the best that it stays like that. And probably I should say that I couldn't care less about who you are or your face, but story is fascinating. But hey, regardless of that, your brother and you, your brother has my respect. The one thing that always got me through was knowing that no matter what, I would always have my brother. I would never truly been lonely because he would always be I would never truly be lonely because he would always be there for me, and vice versa. I would be there for him. This is until last year. He fell out with me over something fairly minor. However, that has been exacerbated by family issues that have caused the family to fracture. So, once my folks go, I'm really completely on my own, and every now and then, that thought will hit me like a train, and I will break down and cry. Again, OP, again, dear person, I do not know you, I do not know who you are, but hey, I care about you. Even if this is all you will get from me, which is these nice words, here you have a little piece of caring from me. Oh my god. Edit. I didn't anticipate my comment being seen by many people, if at all, so I didn't bother to elaborate the stuff with my brother, but I just wanted to clarify that I have reached out to him multiple times over the last year. He was not interested, you know. The family stuff, well, he partially blames me for it. It is something that in his mind It is something in his mind from which there is no return. I do appreciate everyone's comments. I would 100 be saying the same thing in response to this post. However, unfortunately, I know what he's like. Once he's cut you out, that's it. He's not interested. You should keep trying. I would say you should just keep trying. Alright? You should not give up. I don't know the story, but I guess superficially I'm going to say you should not give up on your brother. The next one, it's this person called PDM13, and he says, oh my god, this is so sad, and I'm terribly devastated and I'm totally devastated from reading this one already, but this is what it says, and it is. Let me save it so I can edit later. And it says, you'll most likely grow apart from a large portion of your childhood friends, which isn't a bad thing. You know, life will take you all in different directions, and you will hopefully be able to make new friends that are more similar to who you grow up to be. Also, that beautiful head of hair you are so proud of might not be permanent. Keep an eye on that hairline, fellas. Oh my god, this person has just destroyed me with a very simple comment, and I have to say, wow. Wow. Yes, my amazing curly afro hair might not be permanent, but thankfully, I don't have an abundant beard. Therefore, I think I will have hair for plenty of time in my life. I remember that my maternal grandpa, didn't have a very abundant beard, only a mustache. And my dad didn't have a beard either. That's actually one grudge that I hold against my dad. Um, what grudge am I holding? Easily. I'm holding this grudge over the fact that he used to have zero facial hair. Just a mustache, and that's it. Oh my god, this person says, this is fascinating, and this person says, I'm not yet 40. Alright? The good Judge Holden says, one more time, I'm not yet 40, and I am still in touch with exact one person from my teen years, and then only in random passing text. The rest all moved on, died, or went to prison. It's okay to be sad about this. Once you ventilate those feelings by crying, which is totally fine, of course, you can move on with your life. Two more comments and I will finish this, so I can continue with the second part. Oh my god. The Marvelous Oxman says, there are actual consequences for just doing whatever you want. Oh my god. How fascinating is that? Yes, everything that you bring upon yourself, it's your fault and your fault only. Alright? This brings to my mind the image of Francis from the TV series Malcolm in the Middle comes into my mind. Why? Because my cat is killing cockroaches again. Why? Because every single horrible, bad, or mean, or devastating thing that happens in his life, he immediately blames his mother, and that's totally ridiculous and irresponsible. Yes, she may have contributed, but every single goddamn fucking thing that happens to you, it's your fault and your fault only. Alright? Yes, the parents sometimes can have some blame. But we all know, as a viewer, we all know the stupid decisions that Francis made during his life. Therefore, it is only him who is guilty. Let's continue with the next one that says, Murderbot of Rivia says the following. Hey, my cat is here. I'm not sure if... Ouch. Hey, this is my cat. How about that? I have the face of my cat right here. She may not be visible, but she's right there. I love you so much. Anyway, let us continue with this reply by Murderbot of Rivia. And this person, I assume it's, I don't know who that is. I don't know what this person is. Replies, I have been trying so hard to make my 10-year-old understand that I don't want to spend my weekends doing laundry and yard work. That I would much rather be reading and eating cherry turnovers. What? Well, at least he's being clear. Oh my god. That was a reply to the previous one, you know. That was a reply to the previous one. Oh my god. How fascinating and devastating are these things. God damn it, guys. Let's continue with the next one that says, oh my god. This is one of the comments this is one comment. I read this comment and I immediately think, for this reason, many silly kids, many silly kindergarteners want to be adults. And it is that eating all the snacks is not a good idea. Says Earn Riley. Oh my god. Oh my god. Goes into this person replies to Fern Riley. I don't know how to pronounce it. Fusrodoodles. I think I have seen a comment by him previously. Says, me at 23. I can eat a half gallon of cherry cordial ice cream for breakfast and nobody can stop me. But also, me still at 23, but 2 hours later on the toilet. Oh, that's what's stopping me. Your digestive system is not the same as you were a teenager, that's for sure. And neither is your metabolism. Definitely. Neither is your metabolism, that's for sure. What else? Day to day can be very boring, and more often than not, if it's not boring, you're going to wish it was. And this person, these two people say that this describes their work day so well. Oh my god, so many truths. And, uh, and so many realizations that I'm going to stop it right there and I'm going to go to sleep right now. I would like to thank you, Brave New World, for sticking with us for today. For sticking with us today. And wait. Give me a second. I would like to thank you for sticking with us. I would like to thank you for your comments. And if you stayed until now, you're a goddamn beast. I would like to congratulate you for watching this video on the same time. And at the same time, I would like to thank you. Have an amazing evening, morning, or afternoon, whatever time you're watching this Brave New World. See you later. Farewell. Farewell.